You see the man right in front of you. This is my boy Guts. And this guy Noggi telling you that he animated Berserks on Blender. On Blender. I think I talked about this in another video by some other guy who animated the first couple of minutes of Kratos kicking out, taking names in the first God of War, fighting zombies or whatnot. Dope video. Check that out on reaction, or check out the guy's video, original video. But this is important because I love Berserk, and I peeped at you know, the newer, quote unquote newer stuff. I haven't like got back in it, man, but I always want to see this video. We got the time to do it today, so without further ado, let's get busy.
Is a shot from the manga series Berserk, but in 3D. But this shot is only a small part of a much bigger project where I wanted to animate a scene from the manga using my favorite 3D program, Blender. There are amazing examples of awesome looking 2D animations that...
Mind you, this is a completely different dude and not the same guy who did the Kratos one. Completely different. So this dude must be next level. People make their games via Blender. I don't know how they were able to like get everything, take a piece of file what you made Blender bring to like what Unity or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I gotta check it out one of these days. I don't know how to do that. It's fun. It seemed like fun to me.
But yeah, 3D, but they're also just really not so great looking ones. Things can go wrong very quickly, which I unfortunately had to learn myself during this project. And to truly understand why, let's go back to our friend Guts.
Yes, he's that guy for real. Look at that.
I've already played around.
Look at all that design, bro.
Animation in
looks so damn good.
Most recently, I remade a few shots from Spirited Away, but this time I wanted to create a full scene with multiple...
Look at this guy have his own storyboard. Put all the panels, smaller panels. This is a big panel right here. This is not him cropping out. This is actually... It more or less cropped out. Yeah, it's kind of cropped out. But it's like a big panel, huge. This is like the second fight with Zod versus Guts right here. After Griffiths being a dickhead or whatever. People already seen it. Finally. I reviewed 2016 Berserk. In 2017 I didn't do it. I didn't have the heart to do it. I already like done. I just was a viewer and that's it. I didn't feel like doing no reviews. I was like actually stunted by the fact that I was doing reviews but nobody was pulling up to see my reviews. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I didn't like that, bro.
Shots that flow into each other, which means that our friend Guts over here had to be much more versatile than anything I've created before. He had to succeed in 3 important aspects for this.
Yes, animation stuff. No. You gotta be very precise when you do this stuff. If you're not precise, it gotta come out ugly, unsightly. This is where people complain about the bad animations, yo. Like, it is so bad. It's so cringy. It's so terrible. Why would you make this animation? These guys did not cook. This is the worst animation I said of all time. I can't. I hate it so much. The worst animation of all time. They suck. People gonna have that opinion. Can't stop it. You can only be good, and good is subjective. I'm serious. Good is really subjective, but it's up to you to like be the judge. What you like.
This project to go anywhere other than the trash. He had
to like the animation.
Likeness of the original, be able to be animated in the most extreme poses from the manga, and most importantly, of course, look 2D. To capture his likeness, I had to make sure that the proportions of my 3D model match with the original illustrations. The trouble with this is that his proportions aren't always the same. Sometimes the facial features are more pronounced to achieve a certain effect. Other times the perspectives are so extreme that it's basically impossible to draw him perfectly proportional over a series of shots. So I collected a bunch of references and combined them all together to hopefully match most shots as closely as possible. For a manga character, he looks pretty realistic.
Artists, do you need references? The answer is yes. What am I saying? Yeah, I'm done. I'm like, people can make their own art. They have the reference in their head. There's certain artists who's so good. All they had to do is look at one particular angle of a area they're looking at. They just go back home, go over their private, doing artist things, and then they just draw everything out. I went to this art museum for a job, and I seen all the arts. I think someone, I don't know, someone mentioned that one of these artists have a good memory that they just absorbed, just take in the area they're looking at and just draw it out the way it was, one to one, in that moment. Y'all are true geniuses right there, man. Now anyone can do some art. As long as you have the practice, the knowledge, and know-how, you good. So the whole thing with references, I think, is okay, pretty important. I'm just asking overall, references really, all if not always necessary for a job. I'm just saying.
Except maybe for his eyes, so creating his body wasn't all that
Damn,
challenging.
bald Gus is terrifying.
I started with a human base mesh and replaced the head with a custom one that I sculpted based on the references I had.
Mmm. Improvising. Making a net. I mean, on the details, all that. Well, that's
The
work.
biggest challenge during this process was to keep everything in mind the model needed to be able to do at every step of the process. Right
Yes.
from the beginning, for example, I had to make sure that his face works with the line art that I'm going to add once I start animating. On top of that, the geometry in his face needed to be able to deform into those extreme expressions you can see in the manga. The problem with that is, since I can't animate him yet, I can't test whether what I think will work actually works. But at least he's starting to look like the original. And once I
Guts. Yes,
fine-tuned
sir.
the shadows on his face to look more stylized, I was finally able to add
The
a
lighting.
rig to him. Rigging has always been one of my weak points, which became really
Oh,
obvious
boy.
during my Spirited Away project. To create something remotely decent for this project, I needed to step up my game, which brought me back to an old enemy, Rigify. When I was still new to 3D, I tried using Rigify a couple of times, but because I just didn't understand how the
Man, animation like this. That was a game. I think called Tubi or something like that. Toboy. Tubi. Get down Steam. It's really like, I think it was less than $5 or free. I forgot what it was. You can really understand how overcomplicated it is when animations demand all your attention and time. And they give you a test of like whether this is for you or not. I'll tell you right now, as a video editor, this kind of editing, this kind of building is tough for me. Patient wise, like I don't want to spend all day just doing this stuff. Video editing, auto editing, graphic design, I can do that. I can tackle that. This animation type feat seems fun to do on my own time, really. But to be serious about it, can't do it. Much pressure.
proper setup process and all the different bone collections work, I accidentally ruined some of my projects back then and swore to never use it again. Until now.
Tell Monday what you need. We're creating an agent and naming him Tony. Now let's give him context.
I love when these ads give you something specific to the video
I
watching.
came prepared.
Crazy work.
I watched every video in the Rig Anything with Rigify playlist by CG Dive on YouTube, and after a couple of hours,
knowledge.
It turns out that Rigify is actually pretty simple. The biggest problem in my Spirited Away project was the face. Rigify does most of that basically for you. And look at that, the geometry works pretty well, even for more extreme expressions. So with the head
That's all
basically
guts.
finished, the body was next.
How it's supposed to work, I wonder. Oh, that's cool. A lot of these animation transitions, this is all cool.
Modeling armor is very boring, so you don't have to suffer through that with me. So, once everything was done and rigged, Guts already hits 2 of his 3 requirements. Now on to the third and probably most important one. To make a 3D object look 2D, you want to imitate as many 2D style characteristics as possible while trying to keep it as 3D as possible. And in my experience, most of the 2D characteristics you want to imitate are the human aspects. If you are a traditional animator, for example, you would have to draw up to 12 individual frames for each second of your animation. So to save some time,
That's
you
ridiculous.
simplify the shading to one.
Yeah, I'd rather draw for fun than just do this. But, like, I can't do it. Oh my gosh, I thought about being an artist at one time, like make my own stuff. But I actually do have to like hire people to do this art stuff for me. I'm serious about making my own book, a little manuscript. I'm doing right now. The first time you're gonna hear this from me. You're gonna hear this for a long time after this. It's called Skeleton Connector. I said it wrong. Skeleton Connector. Yeah. It is a grimdark story where an undead minion, a commander in sort, finds a settlement, a village. He attacked it for his master because he supposed to look for something that's precious to him. And he ended up killing, well, not that many people. He kills somebody in a tower. Turned out to be his dad. His memories slowly flowing back to his mind, and going on a revenge quest to not just avenge what he did as atonement, but to kill the guy who made him undead. It's like, oh gosh, oh my gosh, it's a really, really small book, 60 pages at least. You drink my water. Now, where were we? Oh yes, guts, feet, boots. Really, not that bad.
Maybe too light and dark colors. And when you're drawing those shadows, your mind can simulate them as well as a computer can.
The
So
lighting,
they're maybe
baby.
a bit smoother and simpler than what they would look like in real life. Now, since you only have a limited amount of shades, the way you can add more details to any surface is with extra lines. And the further you go with this process, the closer you get to a 2.
I always wonder with those extra lines not necessary, bro. I'm sorry. I've been looking at cartoons all my life. I never understood why those little lines were that necessary for a character till today. Blows my mind.
Look. And at this point, Guts looked pretty good. But I was curious how far I could push his 2D.
Oh, that's fun.
So I picked an original
Happy as
illustration
ever seen
from the
Guts.
manga and tried to recreate it as closely as possible. And this is the end result. The shot you saw at the start. And with Guts finished and ready to be animated, it was time to get into the actual animation. But this will not just be a simple animation of a random scene. I wanted to make it a bit more difficult. The scene I wanted to recreate is the second fight between Guts and Zod, one of his more prominent enemies. And the reason I chose this scene is because it had already been animated before. This scene is featured in the Berserk anime adaptation from 2016.
Not really that good.
Fans, it's considered to be a pretty bad anime.
Horrible,
overall,
really.
Not because of the story. The creators decided to heavily utilize 3D to animate it, and that just did not work out for them. So now I wanted to see if I can do it better. I think this comes pretty close to the original, but doing this...
If you guys peeped this series called Ajin, right? I like Ajin. 3D, probably one of the best 3D anime shows out there. Don't care what no one says. If you don't understand, you're stupid. I'm sorry. If you don't see the greatness of the 3D of Ajin, there's something wrong with you. There's seriously something wrong with you. It's actually that good. What's wrong with you? Come on.
Also showed me where the limits of this 3D, 2D style are. The extra lines and blood that I've added to his face look great in a single frame, but once you want to animate it, it looks 3D again. I would have to draw multiple of these line textures just to animate his mouth, so to not spend hundreds of hours more on this project, I'll stick to the more simple style, which I think matches the traditional 2D anime style better anyway.
Miles well.
In this video, I'm going to be making a 3D game in just 1 hour. But all the 3D assets.
So
I also manually added some sketch lines around the existing line art, which definitely helps with the 2D look as well. First things first, let's create Guts' opponent, Zod.
Oh boy. Man, looks like a beast, bro. I respect him doing this montage little thing we got going on, building up his art and whatnot. He's a beefy dude, boss. Beefy guy. The eye's a killer. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For Zod, I
Clean.
basically followed the same workflow that I did for Guts, but I had one more idea to make him look even better. I texture
Shading.
painted some small custom shadows. It
Shading.
actually added a lot more depth to his body. This doesn't work for all scenes, but for most it looks pretty good. And with both characters
Looking
ready,
vicious,
let's start
bro.
with the first shot. The scene starts with Guts slamming his giant sword down and Zod blocking it, which felt like the perfect opportunity to create one of these. It's basically a drawn-out shot showing the impact and power of an attack. The first thing I needed is the environment. Basically just a few snowy mountains with trees in the background and one main mountain as
setting.
the battlefield.
Nice. Awesome. With Unreal Engine, you just have the freaking mountains. Just copy and paste it, elevate each and every mountain to your desires. Boom, you got like a layer. All in Unreal Engine. Blender, you just mold it as far as you go, detail by detail. Even though it's a slow process, it's better this way. I think so.
To make the scene easier to compute, I actually rendered the background scene as a 360-degree image so that I can add it back in as a skybox around the main hill. That's a pretty
Ooh.
common technique for video games as well. Speaking of the main hill,
Skyboxes,
this is where
huh?
things
Okay.
get a bit more complicated. In most anime, every shot is separated into dynamic elements and static elements, and both have their own art
The background
style.
and the
The dynamic
animation.
objects are more simplified because they have to be drawn much more often, whereas the static elements, like the ground for example, are much more painterly and detailed. So I can't just use the same material for the ground that I've used for my characters. I had to hand paint a custom ground texture. Unfortunately, Blender's texture painting tools are very basic. All you really have is a simple round brush, which is exactly why I've created my own collection of custom texture paint brushes. It's supposed to be a grassy mountain covered in snow, so first I painted the grass layer. This oval brush added some nice simple variation, but looked maybe a bit too simple. So I used the sprinkle brush to add some more brown spots to represent the dirt underneath. Now, to give it some more depth, I wanted...
Even for writers ourselves. Yes, I'm a writer. I got my own stuff. Sure, I'm not the best. Definitely could be could be one of the worst, but I can learn to do better, to be better. There's a bunch of writing books out there, as much as a bunch of drawing books out there. So the sky's the limit. There's no excuse. Study up, study up, study up. There's never a time where you think this is it. This is my limit. No, if there's like room for improvement, go beyond that. Period. For me, I have a bunch of books I want to like publish, and they're like five major books. Besides the other ones, Skeleton Connector would be like, let's say, somewhat of a foothold to get into the industry, somewhat. Everything else is short stories. I have no problem like putting out short stories out there, but novellas, that I have no problem putting out there more often than not. Short stories is whatever, but in anthologies, I have one short story I post out, but it's only on Wetpad. So even still in that, check out Christmas Pigeon. That's the name of my Wetpad. Check it out. That's on me. It's free.
to see what it would look like if I used the leaves and clover brushes to add a lighter shade of green. It looked okay, but maybe more realistic than painterly, so I had another idea. I changed this dry brush from paint mode to smudge mode and mixed everything together, and that actually looked pretty good. Now for the snow on top, I added a second texture layer, used a square marker brush to paint in footsteps.
I'm not lost. I'm just taking it back. This man has so many brushes styles, man. It's insane. It's insane. The more I think about it, I have a bunch of apps on my tablet, on my Fire tablet. This bad boy right here, had it since 2021. Wait, since 2021. I have a bunch of writing apps ready to go, ready to do more content. But I can't help but think, do I need all these apps? All I need is Docs, Word, you know, do some proofreading, editing, revising. That's it. Done and done. I don't think I need that many stuff. If I need like an outline or a storyboard, or potentially maybe a writing, a drawing background, blah blah blah, I might as well. But certain things, I gotta double check if they're worth it or not later on. But yeah, when it comes to like what building up stories, I'll just do it on my tablet. Sometimes computer, but mostly my tablet.
Where the main battlefield is, I made it look like nice, fluffy snow using this cloud brush. And after a few more finishing touches and some more models to decorate the scene, it is done. If you want to get this collection of 50 texture paint brushes for yourself, check out the first link in the description. I've designed it
Oh,
to
for
make
free?
texture painting in Blender as fun and efficient as possible.
Oh,
Oftentimes for these kind
what
of
a
shots,
cool
the characters
guy.
don't really move. Only peripheral stuff like their hair and clothes
Can I
are
see
flowing in
something
the
real
wind
quick?
caused by the impact. So once Guts and Zod are in the
Let me see something real quick. I don't like that, bro. Is it really in the description? Oh, this thing was uploaded 2 years ago. Make texture painting fun and blend it with my brush pack. Yeah, it's just free. It's free. If not, it is what it is. But bro, that's cool. Let me just speed this video up, bro. I'm sorry. Just a little bit.
right position, I gave Zod's skirt a looping wiggle animation, and now we can get to the fun stuff, the VFX. First, we need a shockwave, or maybe even two. They're basically just spheres that scale outwards with a procedural shader applied to them. Then we need some sparks where the swords are clashing together. Next up, clouds of snow caused by the initial impact. And last but not least, this ball of thunder to really highlight the power of the impact. And this is what it looks like.
Oh, that's clean.
I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out. But there's one thing that I've kind of glossed over in this scene that made quite a big impact on this whole project. To make my life a whole lot easier and save a ton of time in the future, I created most of the effects throughout this animation procedurally, meaning I can adjust various aspects of them on the fly and most importantly, reuse them for future projects. Which was kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. Smart. The effects look...
There's this template I made back in college. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it was the best template I ever made. It was pretty simple. It was mainly just you putting the control sample, which is your first draft, at top of the page. Not top, which no, with you. And no, I think it would build off paragraph via the draft you have. And what you do is take a paragraph, put it in a box, have little like questions here, or have little like lines of like first, second, third, fourth to the last sentence, and you have like way to like think, hey, if this sentence is good, I'll just keep it. If not, you just rewrite it, and you just place that sentence in a new line, and when you're done, you just copy all of it and paste it to the new box. So that'd be a new paragraph. And whether or not they still go together, you can always go back and just do it again. It's a simple thing. It wasn't automated. It was have original preview stuff like that, and it's free to modify when it comes to like adding more sentences to a paragraph than anything else. And when you're done, you just bring it all together in your essay, and bing, bang, boom, you're done. Essay, stories, reports, even if you feel like it. I gotta like double check on the template. Still, I have it or not. It's been so long that I have that. It's been so long. It kind of effective. I think it needs like more tweaks. That's all I'm saying. You'll see it one of these days. Hold on. Oh, my laptop. Oh, it's always down on me. Give me a sec. For real, one of these days I gotta upgrade my laptop, man. Or just get something better. I think just the limit my laptop can go, bro. No matter what, it always dying. The battery life is dog shit. I can't fix that no matter what I do, bro. Now let's finish this video up, man. Been a minute.
much better than what I could create manually, but they also took a long time to create, which meant I had less time to work on other shots for the final animation. I've used this shockwave debris system, for example, for the big chunks of snow after the impact, as well as the swords that are being flung into the air. It looks really cool, but also took a day and a half to figure out. I know that's just the drawback of creating.
My G, what is this interior circuit, bro? I think DaVinci Resolve has something similar to that. When you try to like make a graphic, yeah, you can make graphics in DaVinci Resolve, like custom words. I think you do that in the free mode. I haven't bought the one subscription one, the permanent one, because I wanted to get that on a PC that works like overtime, like way more powerful than this. Like, hold on, this right here. Yes, this is your boy been like doing this for years on this thing since like what 2021, I think. I was going crazy with this bad boy. So all the streams, all the video recordings, everything, mainly from here, and I don't regret it one bit whatsoever.
Creating reusable systems like this, but it feels like I'm wasting time every time I'm creating one of these. But that wasn't even the biggest time sink of this project.
King. That fight with Zoro with King, big spectacle, gigantic. Not one of the best fights. Period. Big clashes here and there. Big clashes. Big clashes. I think it's one of the best spectacle ones. Spectacle, like very eye candy. This was the one right here. Real eye candy.
What is an AI pen test?
I saw that.
Well, this is the latest buzz in the security world. In
Gosh,
60 seconds,
damn.
I'll let you.
Shut up.
To really sell the rage and energy of the impact scene, I wanted to try and imitate
Impact
the
frames,
impact
baby.
frames from the newer One Piece episodes. They just look so cool and intense. One thing that I saw in the comments under my Spirit
Crazy.
video was that some of you mentioned how 3D animators often bend and break the basic shape of the characters to create more expressive poses. I really wanted to try that, so all I really cared about while animating Guts for this scene was what he looks like from the camera's perspective. It looks really weird from anywhere else, but I had to get used to it first. It would make creating very dynamic and expressive poses a lot easier. The last thing to bring this to the next level and transition us to the second part of the shot are manual line art lines using the grease pencil. This technique really elevated the motion and rawness here even more, and is also what I've used to create the One Piece style impact frames. In case you didn't know, creating something like this takes a long time. But I kind of understand how long this would actually take. In my case, it took 4 days of nothing but drawing to finish this scene.
Detail by detail.
And the worst part is, I'm not even that happy with it. But if I ever decide to
I don't
do
blame
this
him
again for some reason,
either.
I'll have a much
Because in between frame by frame, it looks like my boy Gus is melting. They'll do a sword swing, bro. That's kind of weird. Kind of weird. I mean, for Guts in the setting he's at, the kind of setting Berserk is, it's kind of weird. Any other anime series, I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass.
better idea for how to do it next time. Since there are too many scenes to cover them all in one video, I wanted to focus on one more. In this one,
I think it's slow mo.
To attack Guts. I thought this was a great opportunity to create another super dynamic pose. The first poses were pretty simple, just some wind-up poses to create anticipation for the jump. And then within 4 frames, he jumps and is so close he can't even fit into the frame anymore. It looked fine like this, and then I started stretching and bending again.
That would make sense, huh?
And everything just looked 10 times better. I also used another one of my procedural effects to create this zoom lines effect to really create this feeling of speed and surprise. And to once again go back to the original style test, just like how I painted a custom texture to add more of these lines to Guts' face, this time I used a custom texture to add more shadows to Zod's face to make him look even more intimidating and really highlight his glowing eyes. Overall, it's a pretty simple scene to create, but it's probably one of my favorite ones just because of how it turned out.
Nice. My boy Ja looking vicious. Look at the teeth, bro. Damn, look how vicious sharp the teeth are, dude. Nasty, jagged, ready to eat Gus alive, bro. From the back. From the back.
When I started this project, I was really confident that I could
Pause.
improve on the original 2016 anime. After finishing it, I'm definitely happy with my results, but I can understand how this adaptation might have turned out the way it did. I came into this project with a lot of ideas and inspirations from different sources, but not really a clear vision for the overall style. Which means that some of these scenes
Understandable.
don't work as well together as they could have. Some of the decisions I've made also cost a lot of time that I could have spent working on something more impactful for the overall animation. I guess sometimes you just have to experience the same situation to really understand something or someone. There are so many small tips and insights that I learned during these projects that I can't all include in these videos. So recently what I decided to do is start a newsletter where I can cover all of them in more detail.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
want to get more detailed insights
Bro
into
got a
my projects,
newsletter.
the techniques and resources I discover while working on them,
What
feel
up?
free to sign up and you'll get them straight to your inbox.
So
And
that's
even if you don't want
Noggi.
to sign up, you can still read all of my posts on my newsletter homepage. I've already published a couple, so you can check them out right after this video with the second link in the description.
Let me see the animation, bro. Wish it'd be more quicker. That's just me. Slightly. Hey. Oh, this is so clean, dude. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Oh, my boy made Guilty Gear Strive. Okay. I might peep. I might peep. Subscribe to this guy. I'm still around with this dude. This was 2 years ago, bro. This man must have improved. Let me see his specs. I think his specs is bigger than mine. Not definitely bigger than mine. I have the same RAM as him, but the Intel, I don't have that. I had the i5. I had the i5. I had the, I think it was 1500 or something like that. I don't remember. Oh, it was TI something something. I forgot what it was. I think it was 15 or 18 or something like that. 15 cent. I don't remember. I don't think it's like this. I don't think I have the RTX one now. Let me check the comments what people think about this. Bro has cooked yet again. Bro know what he's doing. Shout out to Noggi. I think it's great that a powerful, versatile 3D program like Blender is free. Yes, dude. I deleted Blender. I know, crazy, right? I deleted it because of reasons, and because I wasn't that good at it. Like when I saw like the standing, like the starting point with the ball in the middle with the squares right next to it, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this, bro? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. And I just left it alone. Left it alone. I'm like, how am I supposed to like make videos with this? Just left it alone. I've been thinking about good 3D animated Berserk for days. Yeah, like the acronym was reading my mind. Bro, you took a massive challenge that even Hughes Studio failed. I think the studio supposed to have like decent amount of budgets, but I'm not sure of the real numbers. Berserk is very detailed manga. Understand that you are one guy. For one guy taking on such a difficult task, this is beyond amazing and very disappointing. You have mass skill not only with Blender modeling, sculpting, animation, drawing, procedural FX, and texturing, but also your video editing is nuts. If you try simpler style like Naruto Breeze on Positive, you could nail it. Keep up the amazing work. You gotta do it. You gotta keep on going. Make the impact frame a little faster. It'll be good. Trust me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He probably thought it would be too nasty. I think he did the slow bits just to make everything seem quick. Okay. And people have some critiques on this too. Let me just roll you the last one. Okay, I like this one. Don't feel bad about anything. One man animated and still produce something better than an entire studio working on Berserk 2016. Mind you, Berserk 2016 was like a weekly thing, so yeah, hustle. I had to hustle. Both 2016 and 2017. I want to end up with this one. Officially. Shout out to the guy with the profile with Keanu Fish on North Star, bro. 100% better than 2016 version. No doubt. Sam Brown, you cooked. Listen. Any 3D anime is automatically better than Berserk 2016, bar none. Yes, including Ajin. I don't know why people don't like that freaking series, bro. Got one of the best, rawest villains in a decade, bro. He's raw as hell. I really want to finish the manga. I haven't like finished the manga. The anime, I watched all the anime. I'm surprised they didn't keep on going with the anime itself. Must have flopped. It what it is. So, tell me your thoughts on the matter with this Berserk Blender animation, bro. I think it's pretty solid, bro. I can't hold you. What do you guys think? Was it really that good? Was it really that bad? It's up to you. What do you guys think, for real, for real? If you want to see more of this, yes, for real. What's your opinion? What's your likes? Subscribe for more of this stuff. I might even do another reaction to this. And one of these days, I'll definitely like go in depth on my story writing, storyboarding, sometime this year. We getting snippets here and there, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for pulling up. I'll be out. Y'all be safe, be easy, and be chilled. If you guys have time, why don't you just buy me a coffee? Link in the description down below. Yeah, I like seeing some coffee, for real.